Winter can be brutal on a narrowboat. The sun is low in the sky, the days are shorter, even the smallest tree casts the longest shadow, often over our solar. Sticking to the allowed 8 to 8 engine running hours is becoming harder and harder. Living off grid and running the engine to create electricity is one thing. And another is when two people work on the laptops every day using a lot of power. In this episode, we partnered up with Jackery to see how many arguments, nerve cells, and money we can save by using Jackery portable power station.
Turns out I'm Bob Ross. Had a mindful painting class evening at work, which was really good fun, and I wanted to paint Alba, and I did. And I think I did a bloody good job, thanks.
It's Monday and it's pretty hectic today. We realised that we are running out of coal and we won't be cruising for another 6 days, so I emergency called one of our fuel boat deliveries, and luckily they agreed to come by van, so they're coming at daytime. So I'm going to be taking 9 coal bags, gas canister and a few other things back to the boat. That went very well. Just had the best delivery experience ever. Not only we received everything we wanted within a couple of hours, we now have 200 kilograms of coal on the roof. We topped up diesel, got the diesel bag remover thing, not remover, preventer, coolant, whatever, loads of things, and they helped us to carry it all, which was absolutely amazing. So thanks Ed and Karen if you're watching. So yeah, we're now sorted for a while.
Sweating in November, and that's not because our fire is really hot, it's because we just moved like enough coal to power,
Quarter of a ton.
Enough coal to power China till 2030, but we managed to rope We're on the Move into moving our coal. So
they helped, amazing.
We're on the move with our coal. So thank you, Mark, for that, and also thank you, Julie, for our sumptuous succulents. Marina thought it was Christmas.
Yeah, I can't wait
when Mark came over with those. So I apologise for my voice. I've lost my voice from the Christmas party. A lot of karaoke and a lot of being modest, which is how you lose your voice. But anyway, welcome to the power episode. We had our solar put in spring last year, which has served us really well. Since I'm in the solar, in the summer, we run the engine once every 2 days, sometimes, maybe a bit less. But now it's winter again. I'm still working from home and charging our laptops quite heavily. We're probably running the engine 3 times a day, sometimes 4, just depends on I guess, the cycles of when your laptop runs out of battery, because really what we use the inverter for is charging our laptop batteries, which is probably the most heavy thing we use. In the morning we're putting the heating on, which obviously uses quite a bit of power to get warmed up. It can run off battery, but after a whole night the batteries being sort of cold, they need just a little bit of support in the morning. That's like weekday usage when we're both at work working and using our laptops. Yeah, on the weekend we might run it once or twice a day, again just because we're not using as much power constantly. So yeah, that's kind of how we consume power on the boat. Is a bit annoying when it's like, I don't know, 7:30 and you realise that the batteries need a charge and it's getting close to curfew, or when I'm getting up early in the morning to go to London and I need to iron my shirt, for instance. That uses a lot of power. I often have to switch the engine on for that. We don't have an iron, we have a steamer, which is quite good.
Big day today, finally. Dave, our engineer, is coming over and he's going to flush the skin tanks at the water point. So I'm going to move Alba. It's not far, I guess 5 minutes, round the bend, and hopefully our engine is forever sorted. Oh, also we've got a belt to put on. The belt arrived yesterday as well, so perfect timing. It's really cold today. Everything's frozen.
No slipping.
Seems alright.
Huh?
Seems okay.
Yeah, no, I was saying it doesn't sound like slipping. Might be just when it's in neutral.
Or cold. You have no idea how happy I am that I don't have to do this.
Why?
Because I've done it so many times.
All good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice, fine.
Should all be about the same.
How bad is it, Dave?
It's got a lot of play in it.
Okay. So beach marine people were right.
Yeah. It still looks
I wonder if it's happened.
perishing.
I wonder if it happened because of those overheating.
No, it shouldn't have done.
No?
No, because that's not on the water pump side. It's the other one that is.
Yeah.
It's the new one.
Here it is.
Right. We just got to get this on absolutely right when this goes onto here.
So the engine is finally fixed. Dave flushed the skin tanks, so he said loads of stuff came out, so that should solve the problem that we had with overheating. And also he found a leak that has been fixed in one of the pipes. That's why the coolant was disappearing. And he changed the belt, although he said the belt was in good condition. And after changing the belt, he found that one bolt was missing and the bolt was under the engine. So that's all been fitted back properly. So we should have a working engine and the belt that works well, and the charging should improve. Also full of water, which is great. I'm going to turn around and head back to the spot we just came from because I left the dinghy there. 500 litres per bottle. We've got 150, so maybe a quarter. Okay.
I hope the lid was off.
All done. Engine fixed.
Going into our third winter on the boat now. When we moved on the boat, someone told us that the first winter you know nothing. You know, how to keep warm, how to light a fire. The second winter you go in to think, well, I did the first one, I kind of know what I'm doing, and then realising you know nothing. And that was kind of the winter we had last year. And then he said, in your third winter you feel like you're getting the swing of things. So yeah, I'm gonna just compare how we were last year to how we are this year going into winter. So last year we had battery issues, we had very little solar. It would take us about an hour in the morning to light the stove. We've tried many different methods over the years, but this year, with a bit of, I don't know, intuition, we just came up with a new method and it's working brilliantly for us. We now know how to light the fire perfect every time. And we've just had like the engine fixed. I know you've heard that before, but we're confident this time.
So in winter, I personally have a bit of an anxiety with power because of what happened last year. So our batteries died on us last year in the middle of winter in December. Both of us work online on our laptops on board, so like for us it's a lifeline. So we had to have an emergency install just before Christmas, staying on top of looking at the battery monitor and just watching that the voltage doesn't drop below 12.3, which is where the healthy level is. So what's normally happening during the day is that, do we need to run the engine? If the engine, then we run the engine. When do I need to turn it off? And then again, on and off, on and off. So if we run it 3 to 5 times a day, it's consistent. It's just consistent, like extra thing to think about.
So to flash forward to this year, we have new batteries. We've got a new solar array on board Alba. But now we have a new tool, the Jackery 1000 Explorer, which has been really helpful. We've had it for a few weeks now, and it's cut our engine use from about 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours a day, to around about 2.
Jackery is a portable solar generator, like a portable power station that you can take it anywhere. You're basically supposed to charge it and then you can use it wherever you want. And there are many ways of charging it. One of them is with solar panels. However, middle of the winter, they're not really going to do much, and also they're not waterproof. So for now we're just charging it through our engine, but you can also charge it in the car through a cigarette lighter. It's coming with us.
Okay, so we're on 44%. Plug that in.
It's getting 80 watts from the car. I can't see from here. 58%.
We're only charging it when we would use the engine anyway, so it's no additional drain as such. Obviously there is power going into it, but it's actually saving us.
So what's happening, we normally run the engine in the morning for an hour and a half, because we just, have showers, our diesel heating comes on.
And also in the morning, particularly in the winter, the kind of batteries that we've got are quite sensitive to temperature as well. So in the winter, your batteries will drop quite a bit just due to the temperature. So when we get up, we like to have the heating on, bring the boat up to temperature. So we do our hour and charge all our laptops before work. So yeah, that's our like hour in the morning.
So that's when we charge Jackery for that time.
How many percent an hour do we get charging the Jackery?
So with the 1,000 one that we have, approximately 10, it goes 10% up in 1 hour of charge, which is like amazing, because we use about 20 to 30% in 8 hours a day, like on the laptops. So running the engine all the time is not fun, not even because of the money and diesel consumption, but also obviously it's noisy, it vibrates, you have to be on top of it. The more engine you run, the more frequently you need to do the service and all that stuff, so you don't want to do that. And we also had a bit of an issue with an engine, as you know, but luckily that's all been fixed.
Oh, actually, have we clocked how many charges we can get out of it? We haven't taken it to zero, basically. We can charge our laptops on it all day. So immediately there, we're probably saving ourselves at least not running the engine for 1 or 2 hours a day.
Maybe more, yeah.
Yeah, potentially like 2 hours a day.
Before moving on to the boat and knowing nothing about 240 versus 12 volts kind of thing, and we didn't know for the first like 5 months as well. So anyway, we thought that we're gonna be smart, and I bought an electric heated blanket, like a sheet for the bed, and obviously we can't use it. Like, we only need it in the winter, we only need it like before bed at 9-10 o'clock later. That's the engine cut-off time is 8 p.m. We can't just have it on with the inverter at 10 o'clock at night, because it will just drain everything. So we've never used it. I mean, we've used it once, realised what's happening, and never ever used it. But now we actually been able to, using the Jackery, plug it in, and it's toasty. Bedroom is the coldest room on the boat naturally, because it's at the end, and yeah, it's a game changer. It's a little luxury that we've never been able to afford, but now we can do it.
Yeah.
Our washing machine works on it perfectly, and yeah, it's very efficient. So the washing machine we have is semi-automatic, so there's no heating element. You put the hot water in straight away from the tubs, and then obviously for draining it's just gravity drain, so it's all really easy, and it only uses energy for spinning the tubs. So I did a wash for an hour. It did fine, absolutely fine, no issues, and in an hour it drained 12%, so it's pretty much the same as running the engine for an hour. So what we've figured out, it's about an hour of running the engine is about a litre of diesel for us. That's also been like free surplus power that we use.
You're using the engine a lot less.
Yeah.
It's great just also, you know, knowing that you can late at night, you know, use something that's a bit more energy consuming without having to run your engine.
We only have inverter on when we need it for like this 1 hour or half an hour, and that's it.
When we're in, yeah. We never would leave it on, because it charges, it takes the power up and sort of holds it, which actually takes a lot of energy. But yeah, now when we go out, we're able to put our laptops on charge
onto the Jackery,
or charge them overnight before work if you needed to as well. So basically you can use your power a lot more accessibly all the time.
And for me, this anxiety of worrying about the batteries, because they're so temperamental, is that the word? Temperamental in winter, and I do not want them to die quickly, because the first lot died in a year and a half, and
we've had these a year now. Apparently
you're supposed to have them for about 4 years if you know what you're doing. We didn't know what we were doing, so it's our fault as well. They were also wired incorrectly.
A plethora of things, part of boat life. But these ones are
they're
great.
doing fine, yeah. They're doing fine.
And we've taken precautions and got solar and stuff. However, just the Jackery, you know, you can just use power whenever you want. I keep looking at it down here. If you're wondering like what I'm looking at, I'm just
weirdly, because it brings us so much calmness and this ease. There's just this sense of ease that we never had in winter. We have like very warm feelings towards it, because it's just, I don't have to worry. So that's happened. If you guys are interested in getting one, they have a sale on this week, so click the link below to get it for a lot cheaper price than it usually is. And there are different sizes and capacities. It is perfect size for us for our energy usage, because there've been days when I'm editing, all the power is sucked in from everywhere. So power draining this activity. We have had a day when we used 60% or 70% in one day from Jackery. The more comfortable you are on the boat, the longer you can live on the boat, and this is a new technology. So many times we had this conversation, shall we get a generator, talking about the normal generators, and they're stealable, they're expensive, they're noisy,
and run on petrol.
There's no
got another engine to look after.
Yeah, there is just absolutely no benefit for us to get it, so we kind of like,
space is a big one.
And then, so we, like, never got one. But as soon as we found out that there are now, like, solar generators, and Jackery came into the scene, it's totally worth it.
The difference, however, between this and a generator, though, you can't charge the boat with this.
Oh, no, you can't. No.
Whereas a generator charges the boat.
It's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, but for us, it does the job.
So what's our verdict on the Jackery Explorer 1000? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it, or should you just go ahead and get one? Well, we think you should just go ahead and get one.
Get one. So useful.
So yeah, that's our thoughts on power on a boat. Third winter, the prophecy was right.
Yeah.
This winter's much easier. We know how to light a fire. We've got new batteries, solar, and of course we've got a Jackery.
Working engine and Jackery. Yeah, thumbs up from us.
Oh Jackery, how wonderful is your battery. Oh Jackery, you keep powering our Christmas tree. We've been using you all day and you're still at 60%. I wish our boat had more Jackeries.
Miles is running ahead a bit here. Next week we will be decorating the tree and getting into the Christmas spirit. So subscribe if you haven't already. We hope you found this episode useful. Give us a thumbs up to let us know. Thanks again to Jackery for sponsoring this episode and creating such useful product that is keeping us going in winter. Extra special thanks to our Patreon community who've been incredibly supportive from the very beginning. Sending you all our love. See you in our very special festive episode next week.